Hello, you're welcome to Cable Plus Property, your #1 online educative platform on all issues related to land and landed properties. This is where Nigerians and non-Nigerians have easy access to every information related to land procurement, building construction, land documentation, registration, and obtaining planning permits. This episode promises to be educative as always, because I'll be speaking with a professional in town planning and also a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, no other than town planner Badijo Hakeem Olatunji. As you know, my name is Oiza. Let's go. Town planner Badijo Hakeem Olatunji is a town planner by profession and a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. He attended the University of Lagos and University of Ibadan, where he obtained his first and master's degree respectively in 1986 and 1999. He retired as a director of town planning with Lagos State Government in 2017. While working for the state, he worked with multiplicity of MDAs, including the Office of Environment and Physical Planning, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, and Lagos State Urban Renewal Authority. He's the author of Parks and Cemetery Administration in Lagos State, a critical appraisal in 1997, the paper which emphasized on judicious use and greening of public open spaces beneath flyovers and road interchanges in Lagos. Now, this will interest you to know that the treaty ultimately led to the birth of Lagos State Parks and Gardens Agency that we have around in Lagos State. In addition to this, Town Planner Badijo has participated and presented papers in a number of selected national and international conferences. He's a champion of equity, justice, and improved quality of life. In 1995, he single-handedly champions that Lagos State public servants be given 40% rebate on the state land, and in 2001, he canvassed for similar rebates on building planning assessments, which were approved by His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was the governor at the time. Town Planner Badijo is currently the managing partner of Hub Consult, a physical planning consulting firm based in Lagos. And guess what? He's married with children. Join me as I speak with Town Planner Badijo Hakeem Olatunji.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning, sir. It's a pleasure having you on the show today.
Good morning, Louisa.
So,
you make me feel blush.
Oh my God. Yes, that's my job actually. And so let's get on to the real deal. What is planning regulations in quote, and who is it meant for? Why is it necessary?
It's okay. I would be as modest as possible. I would don't want to be very technical. Planning regulation is an offshoot of a planning law. In a layman's language, it tells you the details, give you the details of what you have to do. For instance, if the planning law says that you can only, you must obtain approval before you develop your site, then the planning regulation will tell you at this particular site, you can only go 2 floors. You can only go 3 floors. And these are the setbacks. The details are in planning regulation. You cannot find that in the law. That's why there's planning regulation. I hope that one is clear.
Yeah.
Now, for why is it necessary? It is very important that even before an architect design, you must know what is the regulation. What is the regulation for the area he's designing to? What is the setback? Is it 9-meter setback? In case of a commercial, 6-meter setback, 3-meter, all these must be known. It is the planning regulations that will state that. And maybe the density, the total number of units you can build in a particular plot of land, size of land, is the planning regulation that will tell you that. So when an architect is, or anybody is a firm, or even a developer, a builder, or whoever that wants to invest in land must get hold of this. And when you get it, some people just buy land, then they want to build 20 floors, or they want to build 10 floors, and they will be told, no, you cannot go more than 4 floors. That's his defeat. And that's why they will be lobbying to make sure that, you know, they sideline the planning regulations, which is not in the interest of anybody.
So that leads me to planning permits. Why is it necessary for a developer to obtain a planning permit, and what do you stand to lose if you do not get this document?
Let me tell you, if you don't have a planning permit, you will have a sleepless night till the end of your life.
Wow.
That's what I always tell people. If you don't have a planning permit, you will not have a peace of mind. You cannot sleep. Because anytime the state agency or any enforcement is coming to your area, I'm sure your BP will go up. So why are you giving yourself that? So it's important that you must get it. But in this part of the world, it's very sad that even those you expect turnkey projects, it's not, I can understand if the illiterates are doing it, they don't know much about it, but those who are educated, you will find out in the highbrow area, go to Ikoyi, Lekki, they will not get it, and they will. It's another long story. It's not interesting. It's not good. I always advise people against it. Don't develop, or even don't dig your land or establish your foundation without getting planning permits.
So would like you to state really in clear terms now, because you just talked about why it is important, the fact that you might have sleepless nights and all of that. But really, is there any big thing to lose if I don't have a planning permit? What are those things that are in stake if I don't have it?
You know, elsewhere, I've just told you.
Yeah, you lose peace of mind.
You lose peace of mind. You have a sleepless night if you don't have planning permit. Take the rest. And let me tell you, buildings is so significant. You cannot hide it in your pocket. If I'm having phone in my pocket and you don't know, but building is very obvious. Everybody will see. As long as the building is there, everybody will see that building is there, and they will go ask you, produce your planning permit. You can't produce it, and you will be bribing or trying to impress, you know, the officers and things like that, and it's not in the best thing. It's not in your interest. It's not in the interest of anybody. And let me tell you again, it also it's a colossal loss to the state, because the state spends a lot of money to do all this monitoring. When they are going out, they go out with enforcement, police escort, and all this is a lot of money. If the state tells you how much they pay for each enforcement and things like that, you will be worried. Wow. So at the end of the day, it's either they took your building. When they say they took, they will remove part of the window or part of the wall. At times, it's total demolition. Everybody's losing. And that's when the police will be saying, oh, why are they not saying it? Is it not there? And you know, they said it takes the law grind gradually because it catches up with you, but it's eventually going to catch up with you. So that's it.
Thank you very much for that. So the emotional attachment to land, particularly in Lagos, where land is, we could say land is scarce, compels physical development of land that is less than 100 square meters illegally. So as a town planner, how best can such land be used in line with the existing regulations?
I don't know. You know, yes, in Lagos, let me take Lagos Island, we call it substandard plots in planning. It's called substandard plot. Any plot that's less than 350 is about half a plot of land. That's less than that, they are called substandard plots. Of course, in Lagos Island, it's allowed. In the core of Lagos Island, 250 or less. But yeah, it's because of the attachment. The indigenous, I mean, the original owners of the lands attached to it. You know, you want to build 2 or 3 bedroom flats, you may not need more than 40 square meters, 60 square meters. But to me, you cannot meet up with the setback. And also in Lagos Island, they give them special consideration. That is, instead of having 3 meters on the size, they give them 1.5, 1 meter at times, you know.
Why is that? Why
because the land is so small. If you remove 6 meters, 3 meters, there is nothing. It's simple. I can draw it for you 100 meters. Let's say 100 meters is, let's say, 10 by 10. That's 100 meters. Abi? 10 by 10 meters. It's 100 by. If you remove 6 in front of, yeah, 3 at the back, that's 7.
7.
You can only build 3 meters. 3 meters is just a room.
Wow.
It's simple like that. It's very straightforward. But just for them to have a sense of belonging, the state says, okay, we allow you maybe 1.5 at the rear, 1.5 at the sides, maybe 3 meters in front. You know, by the time you have 3 plus 1.5, that's about 4.5. Well, remove 4.5 from 10 meters, you have just
5.5.
5.5. You can still build a room and parlor. But it's going to be too short. And let me tell you, and they are going to run into another problem because that's in the regulations. That's why I say the regulation is a detail of what you need to do. The regulation says there must be minimum standard room of 10.5 or 10.8 if I'm not mistaken. That's the minimum standard of room. And before you can get that, your minimum room must be 3 meters by at least 3.5 or 3.8. If we multiply that before you can get 10.8. Can you see that? And when you get 3 meters by, that's a 3.5 minimum, by the time you are adding your toilet into, especially the toilet too, by the time you are adding your toilet, which must be minimum of 1.5, at least there must be a toilet, and there must be a kitchen or kitchenette or whatever you want to call it. So you don't have anything left.
So if from your explanation, it seems such pieces of land cannot be used for residential. So what would you advise? What kind of construction would you advise on such?
Yeah, it's not best used for residential, but what I always tell people, you can use it for green.
Green?
I'm telling you, you will see it. It's only in this part of the world.
Exactly.
Everywhere is a concrete jungle. Everywhere you go in Lagos Island, do you say greens again? When you use it for green, just put you can turn it to small recreational areas, pockets of recreational areas that people can come there and relax and they'll pay you. You will still make your money. The activity will be low, people can have space to relax and get fresh air. If my elementary biology still tells me, you know, the plant give you oxygen.
Yes.
And you taking you exceed carbon dioxide which the plant you emit carbon dioxide which the plant needs. So it's symbiosis. You are enjoying, the plant too is going, everybody is happy. The God that created us, that plants will only receive carbon dioxide before they can go and release oxygen. It's a perfect God, I'm telling you.
Wow. So it's like putting this owners in a tight corner because, you know, like you rightly said, we are in a society where people are not easily convinced to give up a piece of land for green. So it's quite a difficult situation.
But, you know, I don't think so. If they get the right education, and you explain to them the benefits, the pros and cons, I'm sure people will attend to it. That's the way I see it. But if there is no information, it's only when you have information that you can be convinced. I remember, let me give you a small story. I remember when I was in service, I was a district officer then. There was a place in Agege, and my officers, when they marked their house, they said it must be demolished, and I went to the man. The man was in his about late 70s or early 80s. I saw the old man. I said, Baba, can't you see what we have done is not good? I said, even at your old age, if you have assumed that you can never buy a car in your life, are you not praying for your children to buy a car? He said, I pray for them or they must buy a car. I said that when your children buy a car and they come and visit you, where are they going to park their car? They will park at the next street. And before they even go out, they have removed the side light, the side mirror, or something has happened to the tire or whatever. Will your child want to come and greet you again? The man was just saying, that information. The man was almost taking the sledgehammer to break down the shops, because he said, I needed money, and that's another thing. We don't have social service in this country. That's another, how they are interwoven.
Yes.
If it had been a country where we have a social service that when you are at a certain age, you'll be taken care by the government and everybody has a purse to contribute to. I know if you are over 60 in London or in some other best city in the world, you don't work again. You are sure of the rest of your life you will eat and live. If you don't have a house, you will eat and live regularly and go out. Because the man said, I don't have any source of income. He has to do a shop attachment to the building and things like that. So indirectly, we are destroying ourselves and we are destroying the aesthetic of our cities.
We'll go on a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Cable Plus Property, the hub of professionals in the built environment and the #1 online educative platform on all issues related to land and landed property. At Cable Plus Property, our aim is to ensure that all Nigerians and non-Nigerians have at the tip of your fingers, free of charge, all information on landed matters. We provide you with all information you need to know about land procurement, land documentation and development, planning permit procurement, building construction, and so on. Join us today for free by subscribing to our YouTube channel, like and follow us on our social media platforms, and check us on our website www.cableplusproperty.com. Together, we shall make our environment better. Spend and build right.
Welcome back. This is still the Cable Plus Property Show, and I'm on with Town Planner Badijo Hakeem Olatunji. So our viewers would like to know, what are the characteristics of slum areas, and what can individuals who probably reside in these areas do before, the government intervenes in the situation?
Characteristics of slum areas, there are different characteristics even established by United Nations, UN Habitat to be precise. I don't want to be going into that details. But you say slum. Slum for who? For you or me that's living there? Let's start from there. You call it a slum. Those who are living there, they don't see it as a slum. A lot of people are living, let's say, in Badia or Amukoko or Sarigomo and things like that they can never live in Ikoyi. Because they see it's awkward place for them. Many people are living in Lagos and they can never live in anywhere. With the blast, they enjoy it. And you call it slum. If you take them to the other side where you feel that it's serene, it's quiet, okay, they will sick and they will die quickly. And when you reverse the case, the man in Ikoyi, you take him to, he will die the next week, or he will be sick. So when you say slum what? So let's look at that. But let's leave that. What we always term as a slum, that they don't have services, municipal services, maybe potable water. That's the water you can drink. They don't have maybe good roads, access to infrastructure, drainage and things like that. Those are the indices. When those indices are lacking, refuse dump and things like that, you go to the area. Even when you are walking, you have to close, cover your nose, whether with nose masks or face masks, to not be able to see this. You are going some of them, you see this adult and middle age, doing the thing, at the side in the open. Defecating in the open and things like that, but that's their own life. That's their own life. But I'm not saying that it's a good life. All over the world, when you go to the Far East, in the Asia, you find worse things. You go to the Asia, You find once it's only in the European countries that you find that that some decency. I'm not saying that it's not good to have a element of decency and things like that. It's very good. That's the way people should live, because they are used to that, because that's where they were born. That's where they grew up. That's where they are making their living. So they see nothing wrong with that.
So if we agree that such a situation is best described as indecent, what can they do at the moment, as residents of such areas, to improve their lives even before the government decides to look into their situation?
You just need to encourage them to imbibe or embrace sanitation. That's the first thing. When they imbibe or embrace sanitation, at least the issue of polluting the total environment will come to a barest minimum. That's number one. Number two, also let's also the states try to make sure that they have what they call the social amenities, have access to potable water. That's why you see most of the politicians, they go there, give them borehole. After some few days, the borehole is not, few months or a year, the borehole is not working. That's, those are the things you need to, if the government can provide such things for them, and also give them tenure. So then, because they don't have tenure to the land, so they care less on the land.
What do you mean by tenure?
That having write a document that they can say this land belongs to them. Most of them, they don't have tenure. They don't have any document that they can say this land belongs to them. They are there like as squatters. And when you are at a place as a squatter, you care less of what it is. But if it belongs to you, you know that you have the right. But don't get me wrong. They are the owner of the land, but they cannot document the land. They cannot register the land. So they care less. But if you know that this land belongs to you, it's registered, you can take it to the bank to get loan or for a mortgage or for anything, you will guide it more jealously and be more attentive to it and protect it. But because most of them, you just say, let me just leave my time and give it. If the children life, they then continue, they don't. So that is the idea. So let's change our attitude, quote unquote. The government must change the attitude to them and encourage them to come and register their title document and give them tenure, and so that the banks can also fund them to improve their environment. You can see most of the houses, they are below the land. As I was coming here alone, most of the houses along this area, they are below the road level. So anytime it's rain, instead for the runoff to run into the drain, it's run into their sitting rooms and bedrooms.
So in that light, we'd like you to say something about this show, the Cable Plus Property Company. Oh,
I'm telling you, when I entered this environment, I'm more than impressed. I was saying that, honestly, I'm really impressed. Let me just put it that way. I'm really impressed.
Thank you
I wish
very
you
much.
the very best. You continue to go better. You are doing a good job. At least I watch it regularly. Maybe I'm going to subscribe now.
Thank you for your time, sir. And please subscribe.
I will do that. Yeah.
And that was the conversation with town planner Badijo Hakeem Olatunji, the man who's much interested in planning for the dead. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to this video, hit the subscribe button below, share the video with friends and family. Also head on to our social media pages at Cable Plus Property on Facebook and Instagram. My name is Oiza. I'll see you in the next video.